Hey there, this is Darius Walker with Be a Fully Funded Missionary, and today we're going to be talking about a question that I get quite a bit. One challenge that you may face with Be a Fully Funded Missionary is, what if the churches I contact are all small? Maybe where you live, or maybe the churches you've chosen to contact, whatever reason, they're just all really small. What if they don't have missions committees? A lot of times because they're small. What do you do about that? Well, do you remember this? If you've seen the video on whether or not you should present differently for different types of churches, again, think about where those types of churches fit on this grid. And a lot of times, many churches without a missions committee are in that they don't get it, and they have a low ability to give. They're in that lower left-hand quadrant. They don't quite get missions at this point, and they have a lower ability to give. So you're going to need to teach them first. You're going to have to teach them from the very moment you contact them. And you want missions to be in the DNA of their church. Now, obviously, the church already exists, but that church, it's small. It's maybe if it's going to get bigger, it's in its infancy stages right now, and so you want that missions in the DNA of the church. Now, I certainly know that there's some churches who are very small, and they've been very small for a very long time, for decades. But things do change at churches, so don't think that churches never change. Churches certainly do grow. The Lord can do amazing things, and churches do grow. So don't think that if you contact a church that is small and maybe doesn't have a great vision for missions, that won't ever change. It might stay small, but it might have an expanding vision for missions and what they want and they're able to give to missions. But also the church might grow numerically as well. But you do need to adjust your expectations. Don't expect a huge monthly commitment, but I would at some point challenge them to start giving something, even $10 or $20 per month, to some missionary. It doesn't matter if it's you, to some missionary, to help them on that healthy path of being involved in missions. To be healthy as they grow, they need that missions focus kind of baked in. So if they have that little bit amount started that they're giving to missions, then that can grow and expand in the future. Your goal is really to serve them by getting them started on the right foot in missions. Again, even if they're a church that has been around for decades, when they're starting off, growing their vision for missions, you want them starting off on the right foot, and that can come from you and the vision that you cast for them. Even if they never support you, they may become an awesome missions church in the future. And again, if they don't support you, that's still awesome. If they're sitting their own and they're supporting their own, supporting others, that's still something you should be really excited about. One practical tip: you call a church and they say they don't have a missions committee for you to contact. Well, what do you say to that? This is what you say: I totally understand. That's the case with many churches. Who do you think would be the best person for me to send it to? And if after that they still don't have a suggestion, because maybe they know somebody in the church who's really into missions, or who knows. But if they still don't really have a suggestion, try this. Is there somebody in your church who has a strong interest in missions? Is there a missions prayer group, or is there a Bible study that you think might be interested in missions? And this might help bring some people to mind, whether it's whoever's answering the phone at the church. That can help bring some people to mind. If there's still no suggestions, ask, hey, should I send it to the pastor, or is there another leader at your church that I should send this letter to? But really, you want to let the person who answered the phone at the church help you, because they know their church better than you, and they often know the best person to contact. And so when you ask them for the best person, it's not a yes or no question, so they can't say, oh, nope, sorry. They think, ooh, here's the best person, and they can kind of get the wheels turning, and they're thinking, oh, this person would be really good, that person would be really good. And I've just found it's the best way to find out the best people to contact. And when you contact the suggested missions person at that church, ask if they could gather a group of people, other like-minded people who have an interest in missions. Tell them to, bring their spouse, bring their other friends, their people from their Bible study, or whatever the case is. And that kind of starts a little bit of a group, a little bit of a nucleus, which might end up being the missions committee in the future. And you want to offer to share the vision of your ministry with that group, even if they could not support you. And you'll probably have to say that explicitly. Now, when you do share with that group, you can even be bold and suggest that they work with the leadership of their church to become a missions committee so that they can steer the church's involvement in missions. Churches need to be really intentional about what their involvement in missions is going to look like in the future. And so you sharing with them can help them get going in that direction. Now notice, this truly serves that church best, even if it doesn't gain you more support directly or immediately. Because the focus, it's on the long term and on serving those churches. Now, as a side note, it's not unusual for some people from the presentation to support you or to refer you to others. And the possibility is, once that church grows, they will be more likely to remember you because of your service. So to wrap up, don't expect support for now. Communication can be tougher. They don't have a system set up for how they handle missionaries who want to partner with them or be supported by them. But regardless of support, you serve them by challenging them to be involved in missions. All right, so I hope that was helpful in tackling this issue of what do I do if all the churches are small. And I will talk to you guys later.